All right.
We back?
I think so.
Hey.
Looks like it.
We're back.
Oh, could have been a server issue.
Okay. And we've returned to Honesty Hour with Zach Eubank and his special guest, Hector Navarro.
Sometimes I hate my job.
Mm-hmm.
It causes me so much stress.
What would be more helpful to say is sometimes you love your job.
I do. And I want to punch you for even wording it like that.
The opposite would mean oftentimes, most of the time, you hate your job. But sometimes you love it.
Well, you are not helping my blood pressure right now. Dude, did I ever tell you the story? I told someone on stream this once. I can't remember who. I think I was up in Seattle when I told this story. I was getting a massage once.
Inappropriate.
Up in getting massages.
Don't want to hear how this ends.
I was getting a massage once and I fell asleep, which usually is what happens when I'm getting massages. I fall asleep because it's the only time I can relax.
Because you're so tired and stressed. Yep.
Yeah. Then when I start to get a massage, I fall asleep. And there was like an elevator music version of Careless Whisper. And I woke up and felt like the hands on my back and heard the song. And I swear to God, I turned and was like, Hector, like I thought for a split second, Hector was massaging my back, and it weirded me the fuck out. Weirded me out a lot. So,
who's there?
Yeah.
Hector, get away.
Basically.
The woman's like, what?
It's like, I didn't realize how scarred I was.
Yeah, that's really funny.
Scarred. So we're back. I changed servers, and that seemed to fix the problem.
Servers are down. We used all of our TA eater points, so we have a different server now.
Yeah.
Beep.
I really, it's hard. All this going, like I'm trying really hard to keep my stress levels down, but when we were talking earlier, I had a rib pop out, and I've been trying really hard not to breathe too.
A rib?
Mm-hmm.
What
it
the
happens. Like with my thing, like how all the tendons and everything, like sometimes I'll have ribs get like dislodged a little bit.
You're not describing a normal thing, Zach.
No, I know it's not normal. No.
Jesus Christ.
It just makes it really, really hard to breathe.
Thanks for letting me touch your chest a lot right now. You're making it worse, and I'm like, yeah, right. Playing you like a xylophone.
You're like, here.
Does laughing make it worse or better?
Worse. That's why I was like, for a little bit, I was trying to ask you questions, and I was like, I'm gonna breathe really.
Just stop, man.
Quiet.
Do you need to lie down?
No, I'm fine. It'll be okay.
You don't have to do this.
No, it's cool. I had a couple like.
You can stop doing this for medical reasons.
Like trying to like get in there big to get it to pop back in. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna be all right.
Did you just like Martin Riggs it back into?
Usually that's how I do it, but sometimes I can't feel where it's like gone out. But it like it kind of like it'll make it hard to breathe for a little bit, but it's good now.
Bro,
I think I'll feel it tomorrow.
Bro, can you suck your own dick?
No.
Damn it. I
can't take ribs out. Like,
yeah,
I can't take ribs out.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that either. Fucking weird. No way. No thanks. No way, Jose. I couldn't even get to it without laughing. Oh, man, if I had pulled that off, if I had played that without breaking, that would have been amazing. Oh, would have been great.
We should probably start asking questions from the Discord before the internet messes up again.
Yeah, sure. Just to answer what happened, something changed in my work ethic, Zach, from the type of man that I used to be to the type that I am now, that I have a fear. I think I have a fear of missing out, FOMO. I have a fear that this very weird industry is just going to dry up, and I will have to fall back on I have that fear. I'm like, I don't know.
The industry drying up?
Yeah, of this like...
Not of you personally not fitting in the industry, but the industry itself drying up?
Yes. And what
do you mean by this industry for those that may not understand?
We don't need hosts anymore, turns out. We're good. We don't need...
We'll have robots.
Something. Or just like,
I feel like you're literally in the job that is the most likely to not go away.
Maybe, in a way, right? Like bankers are like, I don't know, we're fucked. But me, I'm like,
You're literally a personality giving your opinion on things. Your job is to share your opinion of things you like. It's stupid.
That is really dumb. I'm so lucky. It's so stupid.
And I don't.
So yeah, and then at one point I got so busy and my work ethic became so. I just was just like work, and I'm still in that mode that I don't that I'm looking back and I'm like, oh, I used to have a work-life balance and I don't anymore. So now that's the challenge, is trying to get that.
Yeah.
So it just happened from just
as they
taking
hopefully didn't hear Malika say as she left. Work-life balance is really hard.
It's
really hard. Man. It's really difficult because I don't know if I have the FOMO. I've heard a lot of people in LA have that kind of fear, like, of missing out.
Because I'm super busy, and then somebody like you will email me like, hey, do you want to do this cool thing? And I'm like, oh, yes, I'll try to make it work because it's cool.
Yeah.
Because it's cool. And then
at least that's the thing. It's like cool shit.
It's cool shit. When the people ask you to do cool shit, but then also get like a paycheck for it, it's like, I'll try to make it work. Hey, Hector, do you want to go see the Lego movie and then talk to the cast of the Lego Batman movie? Yeah, I'm super fucking busy and I'm really tired and I need to do laundry, but yeah, I'll make that work. Let's make it happen.
That's I feel like I almost have the opposite problem where people ask me to do things. I'm like, that requires now doing something other than what I do for a living.
Right.
So no.
Yeah.
But and that mainly that comes from pressure.
Yeah.
Like constant pressure to do better, to make better, to keep make it work. It's the pressure keeps me from wanting to do anything else. And if I do, I feel extremely, extremely guilty. If I do anything else, I can't really enjoy it because I feel guilty. Because I'm like, oh shit, how am I going to pay my employees 2 months from now?
Why am I at Disneyland? Why am I at Disneyland?
I would never go there.
There's people that are like,
That's
that's a great example. Why am I here? I hate this place and I can't have fun because
No, I just don't like that place. I don't have fun there because I don't like that place.
You don't know anything about anything.
I mean more like if I go to enjoy a movie or an improv show. Actually, I haven't been to an improv show since I got back in LA. I probably won't.
And they're great. Hey, it's like, hey, do you want to go to a bar? I can't.
Like the thing I was most looking forward to is like, oh, I really want to go see another. I want to go see another Tournament of Nerds. Sometimes they're great, sometimes they're not.
Danny Fernandez did one. I didn't know.
Yeah.
If she had told me I'm gonna go as Roxanne from a Goofy movie, I would have fucking murdered somebody to be sitting there to watch that.
Yeah, and then I really want to go see another cage match before Heather's just decides, I've done these forever and I don't need to do them anymore.
Yeah, I'm done,
So for those that don't know, I'm trying really hard to get her on this channel somehow, some way, because she used to write for game magazines. I know she loves gaming.
And people like her, once they're here, they're going to be like, I want to keep coming back.
Yeah.
It's
just getting her here.
Yep.
I think she's a great person.
I have a couple people like that too that I'm like, oh, if we could just get him here.
I know. She's a great person. I really, really, I've so much respect for her. And one of the things I respect the most about her is when I first met her, I was like, I really like your stuff. She's like, I don't fucking care. And I was like, I like you. And then after I got to know her, now I'm just like, whoa. Because it's usually like she'll start telling me stories. I'm like, whoa, you're sad. You're really, really funny. Yeah. But, oh man, she's telling me, I'm not going to say, but a movie she's been writing for a long time. And I was like, dude, that movie's fucked up. That's fucked up. That's in your head? Oh, shit. That's sad. That's sad. But she's amazingly funny. And she's been doing this. She's an inspiration to me from a comedy standpoint. I don't personally perform.
Heather Ann Campbell is who we're talking about.
Yeah, Heather Ann Campbell. She's on Whose Line Is It Anyway? And At Midnight sometimes.
She's a writer for
writes
SNL.
For a lot of stuff, yeah. She is improv royalty in Los Angeles. When you see her perform.
She's a god. She's a god.
It's insane.
Improv god.
It is insane. You see stuff on the show I just brought up.
ADHD has so much of her work, and one of my favorites is the animated Mario.
Yeah.
Super Mario World theme about Mario ditching Yoshi, and it's great. And somebody's gonna find it. Go find it on YouTube. Tweet, put it in the chat. Have people look at it.
Yeah, she's really funny, and you see her on Whose Line Is It Anyway? You're like, oh, she's really good. And then you see her in an improv show in LA, and you're like, oh God, fucking shit, yeah. They hold her back. She has to And watching her do improv with a couple of her teammates out here it's just insane. And I want so bad to get her on the channel, but that's just always an inspiration to me, to be surrounded by all these people out here. I miss that I don't get to see that stuff anymore. I'm too busy. I don't get to enjoy those things anymore because they inspire me. Now I'm trapped in my own little hole.
You gotta get out of there.
I know, but we can't.
You gotta get
not
out.
Now, not yet. We gotta make it first. You gotta make it before you can step back. You just have to.
Well, fair, but
tight.
Sometimes you still have to every once in a while go see a movie. You still have to go to a bar.
We did go see John Wick 2.
Good.
I'm not going to go to a bar, though. That sounds stressful.
Depending on which bar. But you know,
They're all
go
stressful.
go to a place with friends that's not home.
Yeah.
Because what I'm describing, people come here for that, to come and hang out.
Yeah.
You need to still leave the house and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know, it helps. It helps to. It's cool to work where you live, but it's also cool for them to be separate every once in a while, so you can go and decompress.
Yeah. I know that's needed, but it's gonna take a while.
Let's get to some questions.
Yeah, let's get to some questions from Discord. So we're a little behind, here. I'm Sticking With You wants to know, Hector, how are you enjoying working with Zach at all again over here with the Thumper family?
There's a reason when Zach came back to LA that I made time, not just me, everybody that you see on Hyper LA makes time to come and do these shows, and it's to work with Zach and everybody else here, obviously. Alex and Lucas and Dustin and all the guys and Malika and everybody. But there's a reason for it. Enough said. Next question.
And we're always like worried too, because we're like, man, are we making enough fun? How do we make it more fun for everybody? Because we're always worried about it, because we know that we don't have as much to offer as other places.
I never even asked for burger time, and y'all put it, so I'm good to go. Y'all put it in the corner. So I'm good.
Oh God, this question. Demoon Rules wants to know, Hector, if you could go back in time to watch one person sneeze, who would it be?
Just to watch them sneeze, or to interact with them?
Just to watch them sneeze. Who do you want to see in that vulnerable, uncontrollable moment?
Man, I would say Jesus Christ. Just to be able to come back and be like, he was black, everybody. I saw him. He was a black guy.
And he sneezed.
And he was like, I'm a refugee. Refugee. So let's be cool. Let's be cool to people.
Brett always wants to know, Hector, I want to enjoy 3D movies, but I've more or less stopped seeing them. I don't get headaches or anything. It's just the action sequences seem hard to parse sometimes. Is that due to 24 frames per second getting split into separate images for each eye? Despite that video feel, I thought the action sequences in 3D for the Hobbit movies, for example, were clear. Do you think there's a way to leverage HFR for 3D in a way that would avoid the video feel that many complain about, but keep the action clear?
I don't know. That's a great question.
It's tough.
I don't know if there's a way to leverage it, but what I do know is if you don't go see movies, and if it's not too crazy, if you're already in the process of like about to buy a new TV, check the models, check to see if there's any TV that's not too crazy out of your price range. When I bought my 3D TV, it was like an extra $200 for 3D. And I think now it might even be less than that.
Oh, well, yeah, a lot of them are getting, everybody's going to 4K now, and 3D's gotten a lot cheaper.
So 3D's gotten cheaper, and in some instances, we talked about it, like they're just phasing out 3D altogether. But I'm saying if it's easy and cheap for you to do, I would recommend getting a 3D TV for your home setup. Or maybe even a 3D monitor for a computer, right? They have those, right? Something that's cheap.
Those are really expensive.
Those are really expensive because
monitors
it's for gaming.
So they have to have a certain level refresh rate.
Maybe not really the worst, or maybe not the biggest. You know, just something, whatever works for like your life and everything. And because I found that a lot of people don't like 3D in the movie theaters, they'll see a 3D Blu-ray that they get because they have like a PS3 or a PS4 that just auto updates. So that's an automatic 3D Blu-ray player. They pop in a 3D Blu-ray. There's no setup involved. It's just the TV does it, and they're like, "Oh shit, this looks dope. This looks super cool, and it doesn't hurt my head." And it's people that that get motion sickness or they don't like it in theaters, they sit and watch it in front of their TV or the monitor, or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, this is fantastic." So maybe try that if you want to try it out. And I would recommend movies like Jurassic Park, Avengers, Avatar, Guardians of the Galaxy for 3D, and.
Dude, Doctor Strange is coming out soon.
Doctor Strange is coming out in a couple weeks.
That was one of my favorite 3D
Marvel
conversions.
superhero ones I really like. I also really like animated things like Lego Movie, Kung Fu Panda
Dude,
movies.
Kubo
and the Two Strings. Mwah, 3D.
Dude.
There you go.
Dude, Kubo blew me away in 3D.
Check that stuff out. Just what 3D Dread? I still have not even seen Dread.
Oh.
And I know that as soon as I do, I'm gonna get the 3D Blu-ray for Dread is like $5 everywhere. Like,
I would take some time off to watch Dread with you and like Cameron or
Let's do
somebody.
it.
Like that'd be so much fun.
Can we also watch the Sylvester Stallone one right before for kicks?
Yes, I just watched that a couple weeks ago.
How we do it? I don't know. Have a good time.
Paxman, I'm gonna shorten your question down to just one. What is one film you wish more people had seen?
Great question. Oh fuck. Well, the obvious answer is The Iron Giant, but now that's attained like classic status that I don't need to talk that up anymore. Everybody's everybody recognizes it as like, yep, we all fucked up. That's a super good movie. Maybe it's either gonna be. I'll go Speed Racer. I wish more people watched Speed Racer.
We're not just saying that because you can find Scott Porter of
that's
Speed
right.
Racer on Monday nights on Indomitable.
I fucking love Speed Racer. Scott Porter plays a Rex Racer, the older brother of Speed Racer, in the movie Speed Racer, written and directed by the Wachowski siblings. And that movie it's so different that it's jarring first time you see it.
Yeah.
And the second, third time you see it, you're just like, oh.
When I first got my first Blu-ray
It's gorgeous.
player and HD TV, that was one of the first movies I watched on it because it's visually really fun to watch. Geika says, Hector, I see you on social media being a strong proponent of diversity, for which you sometimes get viciously attacked.
Fuck yeah, dude. Diversity's cool. Because the opposite is white supremacy, which sucks.
How do you keep from letting that kind of crap get to you? Any advice for others dealing with such
Do
folks
what I just
online?
did. Do what I just did. Don't give a fuck. You gotta treat it like I do, where you read stupid shit and you just have to come in with like, I don't know, man. Oh yeah, Hunt for the Wilder People is fantastic.
I love that movie. It was
Hunt
good.
for the Wilder People are one of my favorites, and I had just recently seen What We Do in the Shadows like a few weeks before that too.
Are you just getting ready for Thor? Is that what
Yeah, man. Taika Waititi, he's so great.
getting ready for Thor.
The question was, how do you not let that stuff get to you? You have to. I absolutely have gotten let stuff get to me, and it sucks, and it ruins your day, your week, your month, or even your year. You know.
Well, it's hard to believe sometimes.
Yeah, man.
The internet's such a cruel place.
I've had people tell me through Twitter, like random people tell me, like, you're not as American because of what's in your blood. Like, I've had people straight up be that racist to me, just go, holy shit, all right. And that one is one that I still remember, like, got to me so much that I had to step outside. I got so heated. I stepped outside. I'm like, I've never done this. I need to like literally walk away from my phone and go outside.
Wow.
And yet, thank you, we'll be there for you, Hector. And yet, you know, you think about where it comes from and what people are afraid of. It just comes from a rational fear. Not a rational fear, but irrational, meaning not rational. A not rational fear of people of color,
Yeah.
of immigrants, of
You know, and
people,
we're on the topic, and it's we have done the research. We know that we have a primarily white audience. So listen.
A primarily great white audience.
But
you guys are great. Y'all are
listen, you know, I think it's important to listen because whether you like it or not, Hector, Malika, and a lot of the other people on this channel are going to experience things we don't. And Malika's been really upset because since the election, she's had things happening to her in public she's never experienced before.
That's insane.
And it's making her scared.
She's going to
making her
experience
upset.
stuff that I'll never experience just because I'm a dude.
True.
We all have different
Yeah, she had some
privileges.
guy in the post office line the other day start talking to her and asking her why she eats dogs.
Jesus Christ.
And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And like, he just wouldn't let it go. And he's like, you're from you're Asian, you eat dogs. Why do you do that? And all this other stuff. And like, he like saying she's gross and all these things. And she said that like, it's definitely like for her, it's felt like since the election, people feel really emboldened to just be like,
of course they do.
This is what I think, you know?
Because however some people would want to deny it, that dude and his people are fostering hate.
Yeah.
And they're fostering this type of rhetoric that picks on marginalized people. And, you know, even as innocuous as little things like, oh, the good old days, folks, the good old days. which is like there is racist undertones in that phrase. There is, depending on how it's used. It is something as large as
I hate it too
Mexicans
because the second
rapists.
somebody's
there's overt racism, and then there's
there's direct. But
Yeah.
like there's what sucks is when people come back to defend it, and it's like, don't you realize that even by trying to defend it and say, well, obviously it's an exaggeration, it's like, okay, you might be intelligent enough to think that. A lot of people aren't, and a lot of people hear that and they feel empowered. They feel like this represents the fear that I have, and it's always based from fear and ignorance and lack of knowing and not lack of understanding, and it's just.
How do I try? I try to maintain a perspective of knowing what battles to pick in terms of just online stuff. If it's stuff that happens in the real world, I have no fucking clue how people handle those types of experiences and encounters. I have no idea how I'm going to handle stuff that I'm probably going to deal with.
You see this, Samantha the Warren says that they wrote their college entrance essay on you and opening their eyes to problems with racism.
That's insane. Really, Samantha? That's crazy. No way. I don't believe you. Nope, I don't believe you. And then I'm going to continue drinking something like Anchorman. Nope, scotch. No, we're not live. That's amazing if that's true. That's insane. And again, I never intended to be very, very passionate about this stuff. What I intended to be passionate about since I was a little kid is what I'm wearing on my T-shirt is Batman and Spider-Man and comic books and video games and all of the things that I loved since I was a kid.
Despite being white men that need to do a lot of work with diversity in comics and stuff like that, they at least from a young age teach people to do the right thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Every time I see somebody on Twitter who says and does racist shit and their avatar is Batman, I'm like, did you learn nothing? Their avatar is Superman. I'm like,
I started reading Batman when Frank Miller wrote it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That explains
never mind. You're cool.
Oh, I've never read a Batman comic, but I really like the one where he murders guys. I really like that Batman movie where the first guy who dies from Batman's machine guns is that bald black guy in the back of that van, just blows that fucker up. Love that movie. Cool. I really like that Batman Superman movie where the only Mexicans are the guys in the kitchen watching the news and they're freaking out at Mexico, which of course Dia de los Muertos is being celebrated, of course, obviously, because it's Mexico, duh. And then Superman flies over there, and everyone's like, oh, Superman, donde Superman? Love that fucking movie, man. What about diversity? Oh, man, that movie's the best. But just like when people love the stuff I love, but I feel like I learned to be a better person by it, and they're like bullying people, I'm like, didn't you watch Captain America? He doesn't like bullies. He doesn't care where they're from. So I never intended to like care as much about this stuff and be as vocal, I guess, as I am. However, I'm a Mexican guy. And in the past couple of years, it has become apparent to my face. Every day I'll wake up and I'll see somebody on Twitter will be like, were you born here? Just like on Twitter, I'm just like, oh, cool. Like I wanted to think about Martian Manhunter today, but I guess I'll think about this. Great, So, and it's important to me because of obvious reasons, because diversity means that it's inclusivity, and inclusivity means that more people can enjoy the thing that you love.
And more people have somebody that voices what they feel.
And the more that we are sympathetic and empathetic to different people's experiences, the more we will grow as a race of human beings, and the more people enjoy a thing, the longer it'll last. Marvel is now going to be immortal because Disney bought it. Same principle. When everybody in the world knows and understands and appreciates a thing and goes, oh, Spider-Man, in every language, Spider-Man will live forever. So we need to create stories with these characters to pass down to generations after us that include as many people as we can for whatever the story is that we're trying to tell. And when people fight that and they're like, oh, that's just diversity for diversity's sake, I'm like, what the fuck?
Who the fuck cares?
What the fuck crazy conspiracy theory do you think is happening?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just for money. What the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me?
That's an argument I have sometimes with people of color.
It's just for money. It's just for money.
Well, it's an argument I have sometimes with people of color when they complain about Marvel doing certain things, saying, oh, they're just trying to grab diversity and they're pandering and all this stuff. I'm like, well, let them. Because if a kid sees that, they don't know that. Mm-hmm. Like even if it's for marketing or whatever, it's still sending a message that
Absolutely.
has to have, like, that's unfortunately how the fucking world works.
And it's the most perfect balance is Marvel saying we need a Muslim superhero, and then hiring the writer who is Muslim to write Miss Marvel, so you get the best of both worlds. You get a thing where you're like, we want to try to appeal to a different type of audience to bring in new audience members, and at the same time, let's hire the right creative people, because in the world of comic books,
I know a lot of people were upset whenever it was like Ironheart.
Sure.
And it's like, okay, but at the same time, would you rather have it or not? And I think at the end of the day, keep having it to where then it becomes commonplace. Like, what I like to tell people in those situations is like, I told myself we were going to talk comic books, but we're talking about diversity, so we'll wrap it up. Can you imagine? I mean, it's weird because in the 90s, we went through a phase, and even the 80s a little bit, X-Men were like the standard for diversity. And then something happened. Something changed. I don't know what the fuck it was, but something happened. It disappeared for a while. Shit just got weird, and shit disappeared for a while. Now, you look at these books, and you're like, dude, we've got the Ultimates. You know, we had, Luke Cage's new, his Avengers for Hire and like Heroes for Hire last year. And like, you look at those books and they're great books and they read so well.
On top of.
And you're like, oh, by the way, oh shit. I'm going to read a book where, America fucking kicks holes through fucking, like, she's got the coolest power in the world. Yeah. She kicks star, like, shaped American symbols, like, through fucking portals, like, she's badass. And, when that just becomes commonplace, that's where you want to be, where you just happen to be picking up a book, and you're like, this is fucking great. You don't even think about it.
You could go back to...
It's great.
Just in the world of comic books, not to mention literature, movies, television, the first, like, prominent black characters in comic books were stunts. Luke Cage was like, let's capitalize on blaxploitation, created by white creators, and then that character evolved into an incredibly important black character to black fans, to white fans, to you know what I'm saying? Like,
I gotta respond to Geoff's comment. Yeah. He says, my issue with Marvel doing minority comics is they all feel safe and don't take any risks because who the main character is. You're not reading that many Marvel diverse comics then, bro. Yeah. Like, what you're telling me is you're listening to what the media is telling you, and you're reading Captain America, which actually... That's false, because if you were reading Sam Wilson's Captain America, that book is not safe at all.
I know.
That book plays it real fucking loose.
Right at the border, issue 1.
Right at the border. Like, we're going to go and attack white supremacists. And then you've got Nighthawk, where he's literally a black character that beats up cops that commit, like...
Racist acts.
Yeah, like...
Sure.
That shit ain't safe. Black Panther being written by a political journalist.
Yes.
That shit ain't safe.
No,
like, those books...
Huge risk, and that paid off.
Huge risks.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Nighthawk got canceled after like 6 issues, but that book, the fact that it is even on the stands, like when I read that book, I was like, oh, fucking A, man, I can't believe Marvel's putting this shit out. This is some...
And then there's stuff like Unbeatable Squirrel, which isn't risky to you, but it's super fun and funny and cool and lighthearted and you know,
literally Nick Spencer getting death threats for that Sam Wilson comic.
Yeah, man, exactly.
Yeah.
So it depends. It's all subjective. I remember in college, back to my art college, we studied a piece in this class called Christ in Piss, which is just a photograph of sculpture of Jesus Christ in yellow, and it's provocative. Because you're like, ooh, it's piss. And I told my teacher, I'm like, I don't think that's art. I think that's just pushing an envelope. That's not art. Then a week later, they're like, here's an assignment. Take a famous iconography thing and make a statement and see what you get. So I took Uncle Sam, We Want You, and I changed it to Tío Samuel, Tío Sam, who recruited Latinos in the United States, as the U.S. Army does in lower income areas for obvious reasons. They'll tend to have recruiting drives and stuff there. And so I was trying to make a political statement about how lower income and majority of like Latino communities in the United States can become places where the U.S. Army recruits, as opposed to upper class, mostly white neighborhoods and areas for obvious reasons. And when I presented this little drawing of like Uncle Sam, but with like the stereotypical like Mexican sombrero and the hat and everything, and I just drew it, my teacher was like, you know, some people would look at that and go, that's not art, that's just pushing the envelope. And I went, touche. So to me, this is the most harmless, because I know what this is. I'm like, this is a nothing statement. Like everybody fucking knows this. I'm not pushing anything.
Yeah.
But to somebody, they're like, I never.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
It's the same thing for if somebody thinks Marvel's playing it safe right now. There are people that fucking are
people that are
death-threatening
very upset with
comic book
Miss
writers
Marvel and
because of how much they care about their characters.
And to
crazy.
go back to that point of even if it's for a marketing stunt, well, guess what happens? It goes over well, and then DC goes, oh shit, we need to include something like that. And then Marvel goes, oh, you think you're gonna one up us? We're gonna put another like situation.
But ours will be even better written and better drawn.
That's how capitalism works, and use it to your
we're
advantage.
gonna make a movie out of ours.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, we're gonna cast an all-black cast in ours. Oh yeah. Great. Competition breeds quality. Great.
Exactly. I think that's where it works well. Let it happen and support it when it happens.
Yeah.
Because then they'll do more of it.
Yeah, man. Like Mark Waid said when people were shooting down Rey in Star Wars: The Force Awakens, he was like, if it's more important for you to point out the problems inherent in this character over how important this character is for young girls, your heart is made of glass, is what Mark Waid said about those kinds of criticisms. And I think he does. I think he has a point. I think that you can criticize anything and all of that, but when there are people that need to be supported by being like, yes, we're supporting this story that has this type of person and this type of character in it for this type of audience member that's not the norm, go support it.
Uberbaldi says, if you could interview anyone in the world, would you change to one-ply toilet paper?
It's a great question. And I think the reason is because hot dog factories have it set up so that their packages are in 8.
Yeah.
Or in 10 rather, but hot dog buns, they're separate factories.
Only in 8.
So
I think there's your answer.
that's the answer.
Uber says, what's the origin story of your relationship with each other?
We went over it.
Yeah, pretty much. Improv stuff.
Well, you were dating somebody. I was dating somebody. I was in the class with somebody that you were dating at the time, and it became a thing of like, Hector,
Likes
you
comic books.
You like comics? Meet my.
This guy's a nerd.
Talk to my boyfriend. He likes comics too. Oh, hey, what's up? All right, I guess we're best friends. See you later. Bye.
You wanna talk about comic books?
Works
cool.
every time. Yeah,
great.
me too. Okay, works
Comic
every time.
books are the best. Like, oh, you read comics? Oh, what do you read?
Thank you to Neutral Productions for Zach's hard work.
Oh,
100
thank you.
bits. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I do love that about comic books, though. It's stupid because you're like, oh, please, you're just throwing us in a boat together because we both like comics. So what are you reading? Oh yeah, that. Oh yeah, that. Oh yeah, cool. And the next thing you know, it's like, you want to borrow this book?
Yeah.
That's how it works. Hector, if there's one Marvel movie you could redo, why would you replace the script with Kung Pao Enter the Fist?
Oh my God. I think that Josh Trank's Fantastic Four would be better, starring Miles Teller, Michael B. Jordan, Kate Mara, and that other kid, reenacting Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
Taco Bell, product placement, Taco
We're
Bell.
children, we're children, we're children.
It's one of my favorite movies of all fucking time.
Birdie, birdie, tiger, tiger.
It's so bad.
So bad.
I still put that on to this day. If I see it playing somewhere, I will drop everything.
Swinging the chain.
They call me Black Betty.
What do you get when you cross an owl with a porcupine?
Your ass.
My
ass.
ass. My ass.
It's the stupidest fucking movie ever.
Yep.
My
My favorite is, you go that way, I go home. And then the guy runs the other direction. Right.
Minker wants to know, with a very typical Minker type question, Hector, how was it meeting Claudia? Or how was it like meeting Claudia?
Claudia? Which Claudia?
You met Claudia in Seattle when you were up there.
Oh, well then it was fantastic. Everybody at Hyper is great. Everybody at Hyper is great. I was like, Claudia from Geek and Sundry, Claudia? Like, how does Nate know about Claudia? And I was just saying too, before we rolled, we need to take a trip up there and they need to come down here. We have to do something where, like, for a weekend we not swap places, not switch, but like they come down and just fucking hang out on a Saturday and Sunday. Whoever and all can come down, and then later we can go up.
We're putting Iffy on DFA next Friday.
Up there?
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's gonna be great.
Awesome.
It's gonna be really fun.
Yeah, he's gonna crush it.
He's gonna crush it and probably crush something in the room too. I'm
With
guessing.
his pecs and butts.
Negi wants to know, Hector, do you feel animated DCU fares better than their live action stuff? And if so, why?
I mean, yes and no. Like, generally speaking, yes. But they have direct-to-video movies right now that for the past couple ones I haven't really been too fond of. But generally speaking, the DC animated universe, again, starting with Batman the Animated Series and ending with Justice League Unlimited, is the best cinematic universe, shared universe ever. It's the best one. So, yeah. But, you know, I still think there are moments in, like, Man of Steel where I'm like, this is great. Humans acting, seeing their faces. You know, as much as I love animation, you're not going to be able to get that in a direct-to-video superhero movie with their acting, you know? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. So we had Jim Stewart-Allen on an episode of DFA.
Yeah, I know.
As you saw, and he arm wrestled Goobers.
Yes.
For the win. Do you think Goobers will challenge Iffy at an arm wrestling?
And he will lose. And he will lose. That's right.
Jesus Christ. Strength to strength.
Strength to strength.
Take down a gorilla. Whatever, Iffy.
We're going to get JSA down here.
Yeah. God.
Mm-hmm.
Need to find him a show. We need to find him a show down here to give him a good excuse.
Mm-hmm.
Give him a stand-up show.
Mm-hmm.
If you could recommend just one comic series, which one would you pick?
Right now, Invincible.
It's ending soon.
It's ending this year, dude. And I picked up the new issue today, and it's only 25 cents. So they're making it a jumping on point for the 25th anniversary of Image, which is kind of awesome.
Wow.
It just came out today. You can go get Invincible number. I think it's number 134. I think I might be wrong, somewhere in there. Invincible is a series that I've been reading since 2003. I have cried reading it.
It's so good.
I have screamed. I love it so much. It's better than The Walking Dead. It's Robert Kirkman's, I think, his masterpiece, but The Walking Dead is really, really great, and I'm catching up with that as well. And it's ending this year, and I got a chance to talk to him, and I told him how much it meant to me, and I told him that it's my favorite comic book series ever, and that when he originally started, he's like, I want this to become as popular as Spider-Man, and one day for a writer to take over for me, and for just it to keep going, because there's something so cool about a character that will live longer than you. That's legacy. That's something cool. But then when he described his reasoning for wanting to end the series and how it made sense for the story and how the fact that Invincible goes against the conventions of every other thing that superhero comic books do on purpose as a commentary, he was like, well, the other thing we have to do is we have to end it because that's not what superhero comics do. And I was like, fuck, you're right, man. God damn it, you're right. And I told him that, and he said, thank you so much. I really, really hope you dig the ending. It's going to be weird. I'm super looking forward to it. And I kind of tried to ask him, too. I'm like, is it never say never? Like, are we done? And he's like, for now, but, you know, it's kind of what he... But, go get it. Invincible. You, Zach? One series? One comic?
Shit, man. That's rough. It's hard because it's changed so much over the years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and each year of my life, it's a different thing that I need in that year, kind of thing.
Yeah,
that I would probably call upon.
Sure.
But the one that changed my life the most and made me, for the most part, who I am as a person is Straczynski's Spider-Man.
You were gonna say it.
And I would like those 5 volumes, man.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny. I just got Malika to read a little bit the other day. What was she researching for? She was researching for something.
Indomitable.
It was Indomitable.
Tony Stark.
And she was researching for Tony Stark for the Civil War stuff. And after she read just a little bit of that book, she was like, can you give me the rest of these? This is really good. It's like, that's how everyone reacts. They're so surprised.
Yes.
Because it's just
how
fucking good.
Peter Parker is written. You
It's
read
just
him when
good.
he's this 28-year-old guy who's trying to make his marriage work and be a superhero, and you go, he's my favorite superhero character. He's the best.
It's
Suck
the
it,
most-
Batman. He's the best one.
Well, that in particular, like if you were to just pick up Spider-Man now, it's a fun comic book.
Right.
It's a comic. I go back and I read that J. Michael Straczynski stuff, and even though there's some weird comic book type shit in that run, there's some like clone shit. There's some the thing with him being a totem. Mm-hmm. The person. The story
He's like a real guy.
that's being told between him and Mary Jane is one of the most relatable, like, doesn't matter who you are, if you're in a relationship and you're trying to do big things with your life and you have to balance that out with caring about someone else. So good. Changed my life. Great book. Same reaction I got from Rai too. I gave him the 9/11 issue because he'd never read comic books before. I love that. You know how much fun that is too. And you're like somebody who's like, I've never read comic books before.
Oh.
And then now they come back to me and they're like, hey, what do you got for me to read? I've read this, and this, and I want to write my first comic book this year. I'm like, I did it. Rai's converted.
That issue is I will quote that issue to describe the issue. No words. That's how fucking good. No words. It's a masterpiece. I could
really
weep
good.
just thinking about it. Oh, that part with the kid and Spider-Man. Next question.
All right, moving on. We're gonna be way over time. If you're good, I'm good. You let me know.
Let's keep it going, man. I'm fine.
Ozai.
I'm so tired. Let's keep going.
Hector, I know I've given my opinion on her actions on Discord here, but I was wondering what was with your mind, or when you grabbed Darren CZ and disarmed him without a roll. Many, at least in my group's area of RP, consider that to be a cardinal sin, taking away a player's advocacy. How do you feel about it, and what's your take on it?
I felt like he was my friend, and I needed to try to save him. And if I needed to roll for it, I would have rolled for it. I felt confident.
Yeah.
I was a massively... I'm a 9-foot-tall cat creature against this little protocol droid. I could have kicked his ass. But Bert was just like...
That's the thing.
Let the story... let the story...
It's up to the GM. So I think at the end of the day, Ozai 75, I know you guys like to complain about a lot of stuff with that kind of stuff.
That wasn't a complaint. That was just this is how we do it.
This is a cardinal rule. You don't do this or you don't do that. And it's like, well, at the end of the day, Bert's the GM. Had Bert decided he wanted to roll for it, he would have rolled for it. But
listen, rules are meant to be broken.
Yeah,
okay?
Bert was into it and let it go. So
that says it in the beginning of every single role-playing book ever. It says, break all these fucking rules. We don't give a shit. Right?
Mm-hmm. I'm a big believer. Like, these are shows. Sure. They're fun.
Sure.
And it's all about the group and how the group interacts with each other and how the group. If the group has a problem with it, then the group figures it out and discusses it.
Like I said, I would have been so down to roll for it. Like, I think I did a thing. I was like, and then I do this, and then I may have even looked at Bert kind of like, cool, okay, cool. Like, that's all.
Yeah.
Just gotta check.
I mean, I would throw that right back around and be like, yo, like, CZ pulled out a lightsaber and, like, became, like, a Sith Lord. He didn't roll for that shit.
Come on. Come on.
Like,
least you could do is let the cat guy hold him down for a second.
No shit, right?
What the fuck's happening?
Come on.
Wait, you're now Emperor Valkorion? Okay.
Stever says favorite current or upcoming show on HRPG. Well, I'm really excited for Vanquish Season 2, obviously, biasly. And you're probably...
I really like Pencils and Parsecs.
Yeah.
Joe Star was hilarious, man.
He was really funny.
Anime boy character. It was super fun.
Really funny.
But all the shows I'm on are good.
Hector, what video game are you currently enjoying, if any, and what are you looking forward to?
Not enough games. I'm currently enjoying Burger Time when I come here. The one I want to enjoy is Zelda's comes out soon, right? I need to go pre-order that shit this weekend.
Like when it comes out, Matt is going to be doing an all-night stream here. Well, Matt, just in case you guys didn't know, Shy Guy, who's going to be here tomorrow, Matt, he's picking up... When the Switch comes out, he's picking up it at midnight and bringing it over here and doing an all-night stream.
It's an avocado.
With everybody.
I want to come to that. I want one for myself, obviously, but I love Matt, and then that's.
I feel like I agreed to that because I'm not here.
Yeah.
I think I'm up at. It's next week, right? Is it next fucking week?
It's like March 10th.
3rd or 4th?
3rd. Jesus Christ! If it's the 3rd, I'm so
I think
fucked.
it's next week. Yeah, and I think I'm in Seattle, so I was like, yeah, great idea. Wait, no, it's the opposite. I leave for Seattle at like 7 in the morning. No, bad idea. Shit.
Uh-oh, better check the math.
Fuck. Cupcake Therapy wants to know, Hector, who are your inspirational people to you growing up? Who inspires you currently or in your life, be they real people or fictional characters?
Inspirations growing up. Mom, dad, dumb, bullshit, answer, true. Mom, dad. Especially my mom, she's a badass. Peter Parker, Conan O'Brien, Chris Farley, Phil Hartman, Rob Paulson, Jess Harnell, Tress McNally, who did I love as a kid? Will Ferrell, Chris Kattan, Molly Shannon, Matt Groening, Gendy Tartakovsky. Damn. As an adult, Conan O'Brien. I know I said him twice, but there are reasons for that. Chris Evans. Who inspires me today? It's a great question. Who, I just get fired up about, just real jazzed about. I could just check my Twitter.
Do you stalk people? Is that
who I follow?
Do you stalk people
on Twitter? Certain directors, certain actors, certainly. I mean, it sounds really lame, but like Barack Obama.
Mm-hmm.
Barack Obama, because of the way that he, what I call Obama's tough questions. He Obamas it. Somebody lobs him a hard ball that is in a town hall, and I think to me, it's very racist and offensive, where somebody's like, and I want to use your hometown, sir, if I may, with all due respect, Chicago is being rampant with gun violence, and I'm already like, I know what you're trying to say, I know what you're doing. And the way he just like listens to people that fucking hate him for existing, and hate change, and they fear things and they hate things, and it is not rational. And he's like, okay, all right, I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna lob it. I'm gonna slather it with some facts, and I'm gonna throw it right back at you. And it's that calm, cool exterior. It's just like boom, boom, boom. You know, it's incredibly inspirational. I mean, that guy had a tough fucking job.
Yeah.
And it's tough to be a perfect human, and he's not a perfect human, but like his job was like, okay, 24/7 you have to try to be a perfect human, perfect dad, perfect husband, perfect boss, perfect diplomat, perfect, on camera person, perfect writer, perfect orator, perfect speechifier, perfect. It's fucking tough. Yeah. Obviously, not everybody can be president.
Mel in the Rocks says, Hector and Zach, just wanted to say thank you to you both. October 5th, 2015, you guys both sang happy birthday to me on stream and made my day. It has stuck with me and probably will stick with me for the rest of my life. Cool. I've loved you all since that exact moment. Thank you for the content you create and for being amazing people. Thank you for watching. Really nice. You allow us to work, so thank you. The Red Man Scott says, just want to say thank you for being a positive influence to myself and so many others. Seeing the passion you have for what you do and the way you pursue all these projects that you want to do while still standing up for what you believe online and elsewhere is very inspiring. If you were given the chance to write any comic book series that you want that isn't Spider-Man or Superman, what title would you want to write?
That's a great question. I'd like to write a Martian Manhunter movie. I'd like to write a Plastic Man comic book series would be cool.
How do you feel about Martian Manhunter on Supergirl?
He's great.
I like it.
But it's not what I would do with I love when Martian Manhunter's a black guy. Because, first of all, you need more diversity. It's the thing of, if you make Martian Manhunter, like, give the idea that he is a black man, it makes it so when you go back and read Silver Age comic books, where all of the characters were white, even though you had an Atlantean, an Amazon, a Kryptonian, and a Martian, and then Batman and Flash and Green Lantern, and they're all white people. It makes it so that, Martian Manhunter, you're reading it and you're like, that's a black guy's voice. Like, you're hearing the actor from the Supergirl show, even though it's a green guy, I know, but I love the idea that he's a shapeshifter, and when they play with his identity, it's really cool. And I've always, always, always thought it would be the sickest thing in the world. It would be so dope if they made a movie where they revealed that Martian Manhunter came to the Earth in the 50s, just like in the Silver Age. And the first person he saw was a black human, so he shapeshifted and it was a black man and lived life in the 50s and 60s as a black man, on top of getting captured by the government, on top of, and by the end of the film, it's a thing of like, well, why don't you just shapeshift into, and he's like, I'm not going to do that. This is who I am when I am a human. You all look the same to me, kind of a thing, just just exploring like privilege and history and heroism and doing that with superhero action and shapeshifting and powers and paranoia and the Cold War and like in a period piece DC movie, where then you can reveal Martian Manhunter's like the first one. He's been here since the 50s, and only in 2013 did Superman show up, and he was a 33-year-old guy. But Martian Manhunter's been here the whole time. I think that would be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Other than the comic book, I don't know. Plastic Man. I don't know. Maybe maybe Blue Beetle. Jaime Reyes.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Cool.
Because I love the character, but I've read comics where I'm like, I don't think this is great. And I'm like, well, I'd maybe try different stuff with it.
Blue Bandit B wants to know, Hector, what is your most memorable moment streaming live where you thought you might have gone a bit too far, but damn if it was just too funny to stop?
Probably when we got in that black suit.
It was a bit too far.
Hugged up on Felicia Day.
Yeah.
I was like, I might get fired. Felicia Day might be like, can I talk to you? And then like we got fired.
Man, that would have been the best way to end that.
Yeah,
that would have been the perfect way for me to exit.
Well, yes, look at that.
Sadly, though,
Fu 4 says, and then as well as Miss Martian is an astounding trans metaphor. Exactly. You can play with identity in a science fiction way, the way that science fiction does, to be able to tell certain stories and have a theme that would trick people into like listening to a story that otherwise would be like, I don't want to listen to that. It's too political. And you give them that, and they're like, I like Martian Manhunter. Well, there you go.
For the record, there's no way Felicia could have fired us for that. She's done far more offensive things.
True. Absolutely.
I would have thrown it right back.
Absolutely.
Hector, have you watched The Last Dragon yet?
Part of it at Pooch's apartment. Gotta watch the rest of it.
Marv wants to know, how does Hector feel about being permanently replaced on Flip Squad? What was that question?
By Havana, probably. I'm cool with it. She was great.
Xander Victus wants to know, Hector, thanks for making a positive environment to talk superheroes and movies on YouTube, HRPG, and Twitter. I know we don't always agree, but I appreciate that you will listen to a non-douchey other side. Thanks again.
You're very welcome, and thank you for listening to a non-douchey other side.
Goob says, you can skip this one if you want.
Nope,
Hector,
read it.
Is there a moment in your life where something negative happened, be it a bully, girlfriend, or plan falling through, that you wouldn't change due to personal growth afterwards?
Yes. Learned a lot. First time I felt used by a lady, I was like, oh, I don't like this. Learned a lot. Wouldn't change it. Although the part of you is like, oh man, if you could go back in time and play that differently, things would be different. Either for yourself, for them, for both. But I'm like, nah, keep it. Whatever. Fuck it. Who cares?
Teen Honor says, Hector, a hypothetical, would you accept a world with no more comic book hero TV shows or movies ever if that asshole never became your president?
No, because good will prevail.
I think that's the lesson you learned from the comic books.
Exactly. Lex Luthor wasn't president forever.
Truth. Yo,
Superman's
truth.
still the fucking hero in that story, right, America? Right?
Preach. Truth.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Nagao says, Hector, you appeared enamored with the It's Fine dog. I'm okay with the events currently unfolding.
I love his hat. It's a little goofy hat. Old school goofy.
The Sir Bubbles, not so much question about, but PMP sparked excitement for tabletop gaming for me and my group again. We're running Edge of the Empire largely because of everyone on PMP, so thank you.
That's awesome. I'm going to pass it along to Bert. That is so cool. That is so cool. I love that shit. That's great.
Well, I mean, it's funny, like, there's so many more questions I want to ask you and dive into things, but it's getting late.
Mm-hmm. You gotta go Mimi's.
Ircia says, Hector, have you seen Hidden Figures? Great movie that shows discrimination and diversity. Have you seen it?
I did see Hidden Figures. Great time. I went and saw it with my dad. My dad really wanted to see it. Took him, and it was super fun. The music was great because the music is by Pharrell, so it's fucking awesome. And when we were watching the movie, the actress she's not the main character in the film, but is the other. She's also in Moonlight, and I'm forgetting her name. She's a singer. We're watching the movie. My dad leans over and he's like, "Who is that? Do I know her?" And I'm like, "Well, she's a singer. I don't know her either. I looked her up because she's in Moonlight. Beautiful." And it was so cool to watch a movie and have my dad go, "Who is this person? This is new talent." You know, like, and I said, "Have you seen Moonlight?" And we talked, like, whispered to each other. I'm like, "Oh, Moonlight's really good. You gotta see it. She's really good in it too. She's only in it for like a little bit, but you gotta." This is how quiet I am in the theater. You gotta see it. It's really good. Oh, okay, cool. Did you see Star Wars yet? No. The new one? Yeah. No. Okay, we should watch it. All right.
That's how it went.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, so I'm getting subscriber sounds set up. You might have to do a lot of the dancing. I can't breathe.
Oh, it's okay. I'll do all the dancing.
I'm like trying really hard not to breathe too deep. So speaking of P&P and pencils and parsecs, so
P&P.
What's it like? So, I mean, you do a couple RPGs with friends now, like, you know, with Keller and Dick and Johnson and
Indomitable, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. Like with Star Wars though, like that's a very. Do you feel a pressure because the universe is so sacred?
Yes. Thankfully.
Because with Dick and Johnson, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
For sure, and we have, and we will forever. Fuck it. Burn it down. Who cares? We build it back up. We do whatever we want. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Star Wars, bigger deal. I feel so safe because it's Bert. Because if you had gotten anybody else as the GM, if anybody else were GMing it, I would feel much more pressure to research the world. I already know the world. You know, I think probably better than regular people, but not nearly as well as people who know that fucking world inside and out, somebody like Bert. So if it wasn't Bert GMing, I would be rewatching movies. I would be deep diving into TV shows and encyclopedias and Wikipedia and the lore and learning small details so that I could pull them out of my pocket just to make sure that I'm not making a fool of myself. But the fact that it's Bert, I trust him implicitly to take us through the world and for him to hit all the details that are Star Wars specific details. To know, that's why I'm like, what's the Star Wars equivalent of baseball? And like, he either knows or it doesn't exist, kind of a thing. You know what I mean? So it's like, I have no problem with feeling the pressure of the world, and it's cool because I can just do. And anytime I do feel pressure, I think, oh, no, I'm fine, because I'm one of the only people I feel like that read that one book that has my alien race character in it, the Paradise Snare, Han Solo, which is where Togorians were like first introduced. And I'm like, oh, I know more about Togorians probably than most people, so I almost feel like I have a little bit of ownership because I think of like, oh, I've read this book, not everybody's read it yet, so I can, you know, I'm like, oh, that's fine, I got it.
Do you enjoy like?
Yes. It's awesome.
No, I think one of my favorite things about the show is I love doing anything. I think one of the things I told you when I first started talking about, like, I really want to get back to just doing stuff that's just people who are super passionate about what they're doing. You know, it's like, so us having like Matt Acevedo play Nintendo games on Thursdays, it's because
he fucking loves
he
doing that.
fucking loves it.
Shy Guy Express, baby.
And
that's another guy I met in San Diego. You know that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Through that same improv.
I had no idea.
Theater.
The thing that really, really makes me like Pencils and Parsecs is how much every single person is so excited to be there. I mean, when you guys get ready to start the show, everybody is super, super, super pumped. Another sub. I just realized that the sub song is incorrect, and I gotta change that. I can change that from here, I think.
I know Kung Fu.
There we go. It's changed. Yep, that's the thing. Is there anything else you would like to add, Hector, before I sit here awkwardly and you dance for a very long time?
No. How long am I going to dance for?
10 subscribers tonight.
All right. Can you do me a favor? Can you throw out dances or like characters? Be like Homer Simpson, and then I'll try to dance like Homer. Just throw
With
out
the chat. You can do that.
As soon as it pops into your brain, throw it out.
Chat. You can do that.
Fine. You're gonna give it a chat.
You can do it, chat. You can give me my ideas to embody these dances. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Honesty Our Nights. Sorry for the internet issues. If you're listening to the podcast, sorry for the weird cuts and chops that are in there. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hector, I feel like we have a lot more to talk about. So I think we need to have you come back in a couple months, we can keep this conversation going. Because we didn't even talk about relationships, insecurities, depression, all that stuff.
Oh no!
And we got to get into that.
Sure we do. It's important. Oh, okay. I got a bunch of good ones.
Hold on, let me turn on the speaker. I forgot to turn on the speaker. Great, you're gonna, okay.
Tell me when to go.
I gotta do the thing.
I'm Batman.
It should work.
Are we waiting for them to come in? Or are you just gonna?
I gotta hit the button.
Through your phone?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Cool.
And. What are you doing? What are you even doing? What are you doing? What? I don't understand. I don't like this.
Okay, that's one down.
One. Great.
And each one's gonna get closer and closer until we're one. Until we have merged and we are one.
That speaker's so fucked.
There it is. Hit me with it again. That one felt weird.
Somebody just said whoever's in the room laughing, he needs to get in there.
I can if you want.
Number 3. Number 4. God damn it.
One more?
No, you got 5 more after this one. Number 6. Number 7. That clip is perfect right there. Eight.
I'm a sperm. I'm a sperm.
Nine. Oh God, it hurts. was a real sub, goddammit. Yeah. So we still got another one. All right, one more. One more.
We did it.
Thank you.
We did it.
And one of these for good measure.
What's this? What is this? What are you doing? What is it of? I don't understand. What is it a reference to?
All right, goddammit.
All right, man, go to sleep.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Honesty Hour. Tune in tomorrow for morning update. And then we've got Shy Guy Express going to be playing some Nintendo games. He's a lot of fun. Matt is a great guy. You guys got to give him a chance. He's so much fun to watch.
He's a great guy.
And then after that, we've got The Gauntlet, which has become probably my favorite show on the channel.
It's really great.
Chris Bermonte hosting The Gauntlet. It's really great. And then Friday, you're going to see Hector on Pencils and Parsecs. And then Monday nights on Indomitable, playing Hero Clicks with Scott Porter.
Thank you,
and
Zach.
Cameron and Erica Lindbeck. It's a lot of fun. You guys should tune in.
Erica's great.
Hector, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, everybody. Really appreciate it.
We're going to raid somebody.
Ooh.
We're going to raid somebody.
I've always wanted to do this. This interview is over. This. Nope. This interview's over. Nope. This interview's over. We weren't going to ask about that. That's a hack. Doing a hack job. Hatchet job. This interview's over.
Cool. Cool. Yeah. I think we're gonna raid Timorag. It's been a while since we raided Timorag. Timorag. He's one of my favorite streamers. He's a good time. He's a fun dude. He's playing some Zelda 2: The Adventures of Link.
Oh, I never
right
played
now.
it. I'd love to play that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, he's playing. Yeah, so get that
Timorag.
Get that raid command ready. Whew. Get that raid command ready.
Here we go. Raid command. Ready, guys?
Get it in there.
3. Are you really doing everything from your phone? That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm doing everything from my phone. It's my fucking job.
Technology. 3, 2,
No.
20,
Yeah,
19,
go.
18,
Yep.
17,
Yep.
18,
Yep.
14, 12,
Yep.
11,
Yep.
10, 9, 8, get hyped, 7, here we go, 6, holy fuck, 5, what the shit, 4, oh my god, 3, I think I'm gonna, 2, oh my god, 1, let's go, raid, let's go, raid, go, you guys are great, have a great night, go do it right now, go have a good time, tell them HRPG sent you, go do it right now.